What's good, Wrestling News CC family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest moments in sports entertainment. And tonight, oh my god, tonight we're talking about something absolutely earth-shattering. The WWE just witnessed a night that will be talked about for generations. A night where everything changed. The old bloodline may be dead, but from its ashes, a stronger, more terrifying version has risen. Before we dive into this absolute masterpiece of storytelling, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because what happened on Smackdown Live is going to change the entire landscape of WWE forever. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, has returned to Smackdown Live, not just to reclaim his spot at the head of the table, but to unveil the future of dominance in WWE, a new bloodline. And standing by his side in this shocking transformation, none other than Jacob Fatu and Hikuleo. This wasn't just a return. This was a resurrection. This was Roman Reigns showing the entire WWE universe that while others were playing checkers, he was playing chess. While Solo Sikoa thought he was building an empire, Roman was orchestrating a masterpiece that would make his previous dominance look like a warm-up act. The precision, the timing, the sheer audacity of what unfolded on SmackDown Live, it's the kind of television that reminds you why professional wrestling is the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. Let's take a step back and truly understand what this moment means. For over a year, the bloodline has been falling apart in front of our very eyes. Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania 41. Paul Heyman defected to Seth Rollins' camp. Solo Sikoa tried to assume control and build his own version of the empire. And in that chaos, Jacob Fatu was brought in as Solo's most dangerous weapon. The Samoan werewolf, the MLW World Heavyweight Champion, the absolute destroyer who was supposed to be Solo's path to dominance. But little did anyone know, Jacob Fatu wasn't Solo's follower. He was Roman's sleeper agent. Think about the chess game that was being played here. While everyone was focused on the obvious power struggle between Roman and Solo, Roman was quietly building relationships, making promises, and positioning pieces on the board that nobody could see coming. Jacob Fatu's loyalty was never to Solo. It was always to the concept of what the bloodline represented, and more importantly, to the man who truly understood how to wield that power. Roman Reigns didn't just lose Jacob Fatu and then win him back. Roman never lost him at all. The moment of betrayal came at Money in the Bank, and now, with hindsight, we can see it for what it truly was. Fatu, who had fought alongside Solo for months, chose that night to make a statement. He yanked Solo down from the ladder, laid him out with a super kick, and crushed him through a ladder with a moonsault. Fans were stunned, but it was only the beginning. That act wasn't about chaos, it was about loyalty. Not to Solo, but to the man who built the bloodline. Roman Reigns. Every move Jacob Fatu made that night was calculated. Every devastating blow he delivered to Solo was sending a message not just to Solo, but to the entire WWE roster. The message was simple: the real tribal chief is coming back, and when he does, he's bringing an army that will make his previous dominance look like child's play. But here's what makes this even more incredible: Jacob Fatu's betrayal wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. This was orchestrated. This was Roman Reigns playing the long game while everyone else was focused on short-term gains. The level of storytelling here is absolutely phenomenal. WWE has created a narrative where the betrayal that shocked everyone at Money in the Bank was actually the first move in a larger strategy that nobody saw coming. On SmackDown Live, Roman returned not just to claim revenge, but to reclaim his dynasty. Paul Heyman kicked off the night with his usual smug arrogance, praising Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa, claiming the future belonged to them. But mid-sentence, the lights went out. Darkness fell. The crowd erupted. And then Jacob Fatu appeared. He walked slowly through the entrance, holding in his hand Solo Sikoa's tattered lei. A symbol of Solo's failed reign. The imagery was perfect, Jacob Fatu literally carrying the remnants of Solo's broken dreams. Behind him, the familiar beat of Roman Reigns' theme hit, and the place absolutely erupted. Roman walked out with a presence unlike anything we've seen before. This wasn't the Roman Reigns who had been humbled by defeat. This was a Roman Reigns who had learned from his mistakes, evolved his strategy, and returned stronger than ever. But the biggest shock was yet to come. As Roman and Jacob stood at the top of the ramp, another figure emerged from the darkness. Hikuleo, the massive Tongan powerhouse, stepped into the light and took his place alongside Roman and Jacob. The new bloodline was complete. And it was terrifying. Hikuleo's addition to the group changes everything. At 6 feet 8 inches and over 300 pounds, he brings a level of pure physical dominance that the original bloodline never had. Combined with Jacob Fatu's intensity and Roman's strategic brilliance, this new version of the bloodline isn't just more powerful, it's more complete. What makes this new bloodline so fascinating is the power structure that Roman has created. Unlike the original version, where Roman was clearly the leader and everyone else followed, this new incarnation feels more like a brotherhood of equals united by a common purpose. Jacob Fatu isn't just muscle, he's a strategic partner who proved his loyalty through action. Hikuleo isn't just size. He's the enforcer who can handle any physical threat. And Roman isn't just the leader, he's the mastermind who orchestrated this entire reunion. The respect between these three men is palpable. When they stood together on that Smackdown stage, you could see it in their body language, in the way they carried themselves, in the way they acknowledged each other. This isn't a hierarchy built on dominance, it's an alliance built on mutual respect and shared vision. This changes everything about how WWE can book the bloodline going forward. Instead of Roman having to carry the entire faction on his shoulders, he now has legitimate partners who can handle main event storylines on their own while still being part of the larger narrative. The championship implications alone are staggering. With Jacob Fatu's proven ability to carry a world championship, Hikuleo's potential as a dominant force, and Roman's track record of excellence, this new bloodline could theoretically hold multiple championships simultaneously. The formation of this new bloodline sends shockwaves through the entire WWE roster. Every champion, every contender, every up-and-coming superstar now has to recalculate their strategies because the balance of power has fundamentally shifted. Cody Rhodes, as the current WWE champion, now faces a completely different threat than he's ever encountered before. Seth Rollins and his alliance with Paul Heyman suddenly looks much less formidable when faced with this unified force. Solo Sikoa and whatever remains of his version of the bloodline are now completely outgunned. But it's not just about the main event scene. This new bloodline creates ripple effects throughout the entire WWE ecosystem. Tag team champions have to worry about Jacob Fatu and Hikuleo potentially targeting their gold. Intercontinental and United States champions now have to consider that any member of this group could come for their titles. The women's division even gets affected because the presence of such a dominant male faction often leads to the creation of equally powerful female alliances to balance the storytelling. WWE has essentially hit the reset button on their entire power structure, and it's going to be fascinating to see how every other wrestler and faction adapts to this new reality. What impresses me most about this storyline is the long-term planning that clearly went into it. This wasn't a reactionary move based on fan complaints or ratings concerns. This was a carefully crafted narrative that's been building for months, possibly even longer. Roman's absence from television wasn't just time off, it was character development happening off-screen. Jacob Fatu's time with Solo wasn't just a failed experiment, it was an extended audition for his role in the real bloodline. Hikuleo's arrival isn't just a surprise return, it's the final piece of a puzzle that Roman has been assembling in secret. This level of storytelling requires incredible coordination between creative teams, wrestlers, and management. It requires everyone involved to commit to playing the long game, to sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term payoff. The result is a storyline that feels organic despite being heavily planned, shocking despite being carefully foreshadowed, and satisfying despite completely upending fan expectations. WWE has created something special here, a storyline that rewards longtime fans for their investment while also being accessible enough for newer viewers to jump in and understand immediately. Looking ahead, the possibilities for this new Bloodline are virtually unlimited. SummerSlam is approaching, and you can bet that this reformed faction is going to be at the center of multiple major storylines. I predict we're going to see Roman target the WWE Championship held by Cody Rhodes, but not in the same way he pursued it before. This time, he has backup that can handle any interference or surprise attacks that previously derailed his championship pursuits. Jacob Fatu is likely to pursue championship gold of his own, possibly targeting whoever holds the Intercontinental or United States Championship. His resume speaks for itself, and WWE would be foolish not to capitalize on his proven ability to carry a title. Hikuleo represents the wild card. His size and presence make him a natural contender for any championship, but his role might be more strategic, the ultimate insurance policy that ensures no one can overwhelm the Bloodline through numbers or surprise attacks. The faction warfare possibilities are incredible. Imagine this new Bloodline going up against a reformed version of the Judgment Day, or facing off against whatever alliance Seth Rollins can cobble together with Paul Heyman's help. As we wrap up this breakdown of one of the most significant moments in recent WWE history, I have to say that this is why we watch professional wrestling. This is the kind of storytelling that transcends sports entertainment and becomes genuine drama that keeps you invested week after week. The new Bloodline isn't just a return to form, it's an evolution. Roman Reigns has learned from his previous mistakes, Jacob Fatu has found his true calling, and Hikuleo has stepped into the spotlight at the perfect moment. Together, they represent something that WWE hasn't had in a long time, a faction that feels genuinely unstoppable not because they're booked to be unbeatable, but because they're written as intelligent, capable, and united in their purpose. What do you think about this new Bloodline formation? Do you think Roman's strategy will work long-term? How do you see other WWE superstars adapting to this new power structure? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your predictions and analysis. Don't forget to smash that like button if this breakdown helped you understand the magnitude of what happened, subscribe to Wrestling News CC for more exclusive wrestling content, and ring that notification bell because this story is just getting started. Until next time, this has been Wrestling News CC, and remember, in the WWE universe, true power isn't about domination, it's about evolution. And the Bloodline has just evolved beyond anyone's wildest expectations. Thanks for watching, and acknowledge your tribal chief. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.